Hello, hello. What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday, and welcome to our town hall. All right, and thanks for joining us. We'll be getting started here in just a sec with some important announcements and updates on the Extendly OS platform. And Zach's gonna
We
hopefully
go.
blow everybody's mind with updates and things that we've been working on. And I'm sure Charles is gonna have lots of questions again.
Me? No, never.
How's it going, everyone?
Charles never asked.
Great. Alrighty, I just got the stream up, so now we're streaming to the Facebook group.
All right, fantastic.
All right, so I'll go ahead and pull up our slides here. 1 second. There we go. All right. Let me share my screen. All right, can everybody see?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, beautiful.
All
All
right.
right, so welcome to the future support. And man, I just love this slide. Every time we show this, I'm like, man, oof. All right, anyways, getting on with it. Let's talk about what the agenda is for today. We've been doing the same agenda on each monthly town hall, so we're gonna follow kind of what we've been doing the last few times here. So we'll do special announcements first. We'll look at Extend the OS month in review, what's coming up next. We will look at kind of the state of affairs with managed content inside Extend the OS, and then we'll look at managed human rollover metrics and onboarding metrics. So, Van, you've been doing this thing. You've been posting lots of updates and all that kind of stuff to Facebook. So, do you want to talk about this a little bit?
Yeah,
Just give people
absolutely.
an update.
Absolutely. So, as you guys know, on June 2nd, last month, I took on this challenge of building an AI SaaS. We called it Wahi AI, but the SaaS is being built around utilizing white labeling HighLevel and Extendly's ultimate AI agency in a box snapshot system. Um, and really, it's what we looked at was it's the fastest way to launch and get your high level off of the ground instead of sitting there wasting time on figuring out what my offer is going to be, what my configuration is going to be in my SaaS configurator, what features am I going to allow, how, who am I going to hire to build the landing pages, the automations, the nurture sequences on the back end. We've put all of that together in here, and we've obviously, as a company, we sell snapshots as well. But as I utilized that snapshot and realized how valuable this particular product was. Now, there's a little bit of a secret behind doing all of this. So, Zach, if you go to the next slide there, um, is that we're also building uh, Wahi AI as a proof of concept for all other AI agencies wanting, high-level agencies wanting to launch their AI brand, which means Extendly is being positioned to potentially become the largest SaaS aggregator in the future. And the way we plan to do that is by providing the same exact concept that I'm utilizing to launch Wahi AI and build that AI SaaS product and showcase all the learnings from it back to all of our customers, which if the same exact processes and methods are followed, we hope to experience similar success. And the most important part in that is that we get to build a pool of companies that are identical to one another, which makes acquisition much easier, especially with Extendly being on the background, providing the support and the onboarding services. It makes acquiring and rolling up companies into one much, much easier. So if you are at all interested in building your business and looking at a potential exit, this is your sign and our announcement to let you know that we are putting this together so we can potentially acquire. Now, there is no promises that every single company out there will get acquired or any for that matter. But that is what we are positioning ourselves to be able to do. So build the best way to get acquired is if you're leveraging Extendly's AI snapshot and following the processes that we lay out and utilizing Extendly's support services and onboarding services on the back end so that all of the processes match identically. That's the main part, right? All the processes matching identically, making us acquiring companies easier. Now, we've been around a little while and have acquired companies, and I can talk about it all day. It is very difficult when you acquire companies that are built on different platforms and merging them together takes lots of time and resources. Our most recent acquisition was with ChatHQ, and it took a lot of time and effort from our sides and the coming in dev team side to be able to make things work. Now, it's been a great acquisition and we're excited about it, but this particular formula just makes acquiring that much easier for us. So that's that.
All right, jumping on to coaching calls. Zach Conans, you want to talk about this?
Yeah, for sure. Same coaching calls as we typically have. We have our Mondays, what's new with AI, Tuesdays, sales coaching with that funny looking guy with the hat, Charles Higgins, is in this call here. And then the one change that we are making is our Thursday calls. We're now moving that to growing with Extendly OS. So specifically, it's going to be use cases and how you can use Extendly OS to either help grow revenue, to support your customers, and hopefully reduce churn as well too. So there will be a specific use case every week that we present, as well as that Q&A period. If you have any questions on Extendly OS or stuff that's coming up. Probably not always as intensive as we'll do in the town halls, but I think stuff similar to that as well too. And one note on that, we aren't doing that call tomorrow, but that will be starting up next week on Thursday. And then Friday, we have our snapshot office hours as usual. And then, as always, we have our 4-day boot camp for anyone that is newer to GHL.
Awesome. So a little plug here for the ideas portal, which we talk about each time. This is ideas.extendly.com. You guys can go put your ideas in there for what you want us to build in Extendly OS, and you can upvote them and all that kind of stuff. And we look at this on a regular basis. And so just encouraging you to get in there and put your ideas in there. You can also see our roadmap and what we're working on, what we've done, what we're pushing out, and announcement videos on features and all that kind of stuff. And then jumping into the month-end review, there's two big things that we have now fully in production, and we've pulled down our feature flags and all of that kind of stuff for these. So the news and announcements, new UX, we just pulled down this feature flag yesterday for everyone. So all of the announcements that we've been building for months and months and months, which contains a lot of information on what HighLevel's released. You can now go to the content stream and announcements in ExtendOS, and you can add all of those into your own content and push those out to your announcements in your widget. Or you can flip on autopilot and you'll automatically get published announcements for all the new announcements that we're creating. So that's now available for everyone. So go in there, play around with it, let us know what you think about it, all of that kind of stuff. And then unified widget. This is now available to everyone as well. So this is now where you go to manage all of your widgets. So your HighLevel widget, which sits inside of obviously the HighLevel platform, and your sub accounts can see it and all that stuff, as well as any other web widgets that you've created. You can now manage all of those in one spot. And then jumping into coming up next, we've talked about some of these already a little bit, and we're still working on some of these. So nudges is what we're calling this. These are banners, pop-ups, what we call pop-overs and widget covers. So you can think of these of different ways of getting content in front of your users that are outside of the widget itself. So for example, if you want to trigger a modal inside of HighLevel, if you want to trigger a banner inside of HighLevel or outside of HighLevel, if you have the widget installed somewhere else, this will be a way that you can do that. And there's all sorts of things that we're going to be doing with this, from offering content from our knowledge base that you can position in front of people, learning content, all that kind of stuff. So we'll have templates available soon and all that kind of stuff. So we're making good headway on this behind the scenes. It's not ready yet, but this is upcoming. Dashboard analytics, we're on the final stretch for dashboard. All of our front end work is done, and now we're essentially kind of tying that together with the data layer on the back end. So we're expecting the dashboard's going to be coming out very, very soon. So we've covered this in the past. This is just going to show you a lot of different analytics on what's happening with the AI chat, what's happening with the human rollover. You can see total messages. You can see CSAT scores. And what's really cool is you can see the amount of money that you're saving too, versus if you actually had a support team yourself. And those are all real numbers, by the way, that we pull from what it costs us to do support. So, so we're not just pulling those out anywhere. So that's going to be pretty cool. This is a big one that we haven't talked about yet, but we're rebuilding the widget experience currently. So this is a little screenshot, kind of showing you what it's going to be like, or a little GIF rather, going in and creating your widgets in the future. So the styling options for the widget is going to be a lot easier to use for everyone. The color, we just simplified the color palette a lot, and the way the gradients work and all that kind of stuff. So the widgets are going to look better, feel better, and be way easier to set up as well. And this is one that was this is along the same line of widget redesign, but we have some, formally Chat HQ users that they like to use widgets without any navigation. And then we have a lot of people that want to use widgets with navigation as well. So what you're seeing here is a new system that we've built on the UX side to allow you to essentially layer in navigation into the widget. So if you have all of your navigation turned off, you're just going to have a home page, and that's where you can add your tools to your home page, or you can turn on different navigation spaces, and you'll get a nav bar at the bottom of the widget that'll show up, and there'll be different application level things that can happen inside of each of those spaces. So so we're pretty excited about this. This is all part of the widget redesign. On the same theme, we are working on a what I'm calling unified chat experience. So a lot of you know right now that we have kind of like some different UX when you start with the AI chat and then you go to live chat, and you're speaking with our agents as a white label customer, and all of that kind of feels a little different. Like you're starting an AI chat and then you eventually get a button that says like start a chat with a live agent, and then you're onto a different screen and it's the chat bubbles are different and things kind of look and feel different. So we're rebuilding the whole chat experience. It's all going to use the same UX now, the same kind of conversation bubbles and all that kind of stuff. It looks really clean and really nice. And there is some additional stuff going on behind the scenes here with us actually switching out all of the kind of back-end logic that we use for the AI in general. So we'll have some new pretty cool announcements coming up in the future about that. But this is kind of the first step of that, is getting the experience all together. Let's see. I had two for nudges. Oh, you know what? I know what I did. Let me go back here. When I was talking about this earlier with the nudge delivery, this is specifically for announcements. So the ability to push announcements into different modals, banners, and all of that. That's going to be done really soon. Probably that and the dashboard will be getting rolled out together here very shortly. And this is going to be the new nudges route, or the new kind of like place where the nudges live. And so you'll have a way of organizing all of them into folders and all of that kind of stuff. You can also give them labels, which is kind of a different way of organizing them, more of kind of a flat way of organizing them. So we're working on that right now. And then we've talked about this in the past, AI discussion history. So we're still working on this. We're working on the data layer for this right now and trying to get all the data prepared. The front end is done, so now we're just on to back end work for this. And so you'll be able to see a full history of all the conversations that your sub accounts are having with the AI bot. And you can also see any human rollovers that have occurred as part of that AI conversation. And this is what that view looks like. You'll have your human rollovers or your live chat conversations, and you can go back and forth between them, meaning you can see which AI conversation initiated the human rollover or is associated with the human rollover as well. So before I move on, any questions on any of that before we jump on to the next part? Charles, go ahead. I see you on mute.
All right, man, so much. Okay, so I tried to take notes here on the nudges. First thing, I like the top banner for the announcement. However, HighLevel's releasing custom banners. Has there been any question to the HighLevel dev team to say, hey, is there going to be an API endpoint to where essentially I could build a nudge inside of Extendly's OS, and instead of it overlaying what banner may already be there from HighLevel, it actually inserts it into theirs. Because I can just see where there may be like Facebook account is disconnected or whatever, but then I push out a banner that covers that banner up. And so you end up with stacked banners sitting on top of each other.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's the only reason I bring that up. So
We
I
haven't.
don't know if that's a possibility, but just
I would hope that it is. I mean, we haven't talked to HighLevel about that, but what we could do, if they make an API endpoint available for it, is just it would be another nudge type, more or less, like an
yeah.
integration nudge, where instead of like a native banner, you could trigger a banner via an integration and then, select HighLevel and just do it that way. So yeah, if they make an API available, we could just do that. It'd be easy to pull in, which would be
Okay.
great.
Also on the nudge announcements, how can we automate them? So is there going to be the ability, let's say, I want to automatically push out a nudge based on an event from my status monitor or from my change log? Can I create those announcements via webhook, API, RSS? Is there some way other than me manually creating the announcements?
So we're working on so what you're looking at in this GIF that's cycling is the main route for the nudges, and we're working on all the designs for the nudges detail page right now. And which those are almost done, so probably in the next town hall I'll go ahead and go through the details pages for the nudges. But the short answer is yes, like all the triggering logic more or less for the nudges is going to be in the detail pages. So setting up, all the automations that trigger like when they're going to show. Now we have all the triggering logic that we have right now is more or less what existed in ChatHQ with the smart pop-ups. So like user, for example, goes to a specific URL and you can cause it to trigger. So if what you were looking for in specific was being able to push a webhook in to have them fire off versus like an event happening inside a HighLevel, we could do that. We could look at doing that.
Yeah, doing a webhook or API requests or RSS, however, whatever, just some way for me to automatically be able to push a notification out in front of everybody based on an outside event.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
See large use case for that. And then on the analytics, I know you guys, I've seen some of this before, but on the cost calculator, how much money we're saving. The only thing I would ask is put an info icon on that and have that open up to actually show how that number is calculated. the number doesn't mean anything if they don't know how you're getting there. So having that info button showing how you're actually coming up with that number, showing the math or the logic behind it, I think will add even more value to that monetary value even being there.
Good idea. We could
And
do that.
then discussion history, ability to export. This could become vital when you're dealing with chargebacks, multitude of things, where you just need to get that out so you can send it somewhere else, whether it's legal or financial. I could see a use case for needing to be able to export an individual chat. You know, phase two being able to search by a customer and then bulk export all conversations that were had by that.
I think you put that one as an idea in there, didn't you, Charles? Because if so,
I think so.
I'll go in and mark that idea as planned because uh we'll do that. That shouldn't be too hard to do. Download as CSV or something like that. Not a problem.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I have it in there as an ideas item. But then let's see. Oh, I know you guys talked about a few town halls ago. You talked about a labs program in Extendly OS. Haven't seen it yet, but you talked about it. Wondering if that's going to go live, and then also if there is any consideration for, and this stems off the call I was just on. I'm one of those crazy risk takers. I don't mind signing up for developer betas that are most likely more broken than they are fixed. And I'm sure there's other people out there like me that don't mind. We'd rather get in super early so we can provide more feedback before it even
Yeah.
gets to the labs feature. But one, I'd just like to see labs utilized. And then two, if there was any thoughts around maybe a developer beta program for those of us that get into APIs. We understand a little bit, we understand the risks that we're incurring. Obviously, dev betas are not for everybody, but
Yeah,
thoughts.
that's good. Yeah, right now we've, with our feature flagging system, we're just basically manually pulling those flags down to allow people to test. And so even before like a formal like switch in the software, that sort of does it all automatically, something that we could do really early and it's totally possible right now, and I'd be happy to do it with you, Charles, is just um, basically just have an ad hoc group of folks that want to test early, and then we could just pull the feature flags down for anybody that's in that group. Right when we oftentimes ship things into production before it's available for everyone, so we can test it in production and all of that. So anybody that's in that group that wants to test stuff early, we could do that for them and just pull the flags down manually until we have an interface, in the settings panel that kind of does all that in an automated way.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I
we
just
could
think
do
it'd
that.
be great. I mean, it'd help us out. I think it'd help you guys out. Finding little things. A lot of times this may not be anything big, but it's like, oh, well, that's easy enough. We're already in that phase, so let's just go ahead and throw it in now. And so
Sounds good.
I think, oh, the widget, the custom so when it comes to the navigation space, are we going to be able to create custom navigation spaces? I know right now we can create custom buttons. My use case would be like I have my own change log, I have my own status uptime monitor. I would love to be able to put the uptime monitor as an actual navigation space. So it's like the more I can put that in front of them, the better. It helps alleviate chat support's pains when things go down, and the more places it is, the less likely they can say, "Hey, I didn't know you had that." So
Would you want that to be
if
an
I could just put in,
iframe?
yeah, I would want it iframe, ideally, and I think that's if you're gonna add it as an actual space, I think it needs to be an iframe, a custom iframe. But then, if it's just gonna link out, it can be a button. there's no point in taking up the bottom row space if it's not going to actually be contained within the widget itself. So
on the home page of the widget, which if you only had home, there'd be no navigation, but
Right.
that's where all of the little tools are going to be added. And
Right.
we're working on that view right now, so I didn't put it in the slide just yet. But you'll be able to add an iframe tool, to the home page already, just like you can.
I do that now.
today.
I do that now, but I would love to be able to
Actually
have
make
better
it a
control.
navigation space.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Because
let me
where
think
I may
about that
turn
one.
off one tool, maybe I want to turn off one of those and replace it with my own.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. I don't think that would be a problem to do that. Can you put that one in as an idea if you haven't already?
yeah, I will. I'll
okay,
check
cool.
all this stuff to see if it's on the ideas board, and if it's not,
Okay.
I'll throw it in there.
Sounds good. And Melissa, I see you have your hand up.
Yeah. I don't have the technical chops you guys do, so forgive me if this is really obvious and I don't know the answer, but one of the things that I've really been trying to figure out is how to take the content from the new stuff that HighLevel is releasing that you're putting in the new area. How can I turn that into an email that would go to my clients? Is there a way to tap into that with RSS or something that would allow me to do that?
Yes.
That is. Yeah, how are you
You can
doing
do
it,
it now.
Charles?
I knew
we
you
don't
would
have
know,
like a we don't
Charles.
have a native way of doing it, but
You can do it now. So there is an RSS feed. If you go, if someone wants to throw the link to the it used to be in, I have the RSS feed from when Stephanie was doing it in the community, or in the course. She had the RSS feed in there for that. So I take that RSS feed and I feed that into AI to rewrite it into my own blog articles, and then I run an RSS email newsletter off my own blog.
Okay. That's
So,
what I'm looking to do.
Yeah, because I want it on my own blog. I don't want to send it out on someone else's blog.
Right.
So I take the content, repurpose it into blog articles for my own blog, and then I have an RSS email campaign tied to that blog.
Okay. Can you
So
get me that link?
It's yeah.
I've asked Steph for it before. She doesn't know.
Horrible.
I said, there's got to be an RSS for this.
There is.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I'll find it and I'll put it in the chat.
I know where to find you if you forget.
All right. Anybody have anything else before we jump on? Looking down at all of your little tiles on my small screen. All right, I don't see anybody yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump on. Tiana, you want to take this one?
Yeah. As for the white labeled knowledge base updates, the team is working every day to try to keep up with the changelog updates. There has been a few different sections that have gotten some UI changes, so they're actively working on those. But in the last 30 days, we've had 35 new articles in total and 95 updated articles. And of course, we're still monitoring the GHL changelog and then trying to get the articles updated or published within the week of the feature release from GHL. And from the last town hall, we did mention that every article in the knowledge base now has those QA pairs. So we're still going to be continuously adding those to our new articles and then updating if they do need to be updated based off of the recent changes. And for the news updates, we've had 29 posts in the last 30 days for those news and announcements. So hopefully everybody's checking those out.
Cummins, you wanna jump in here with manage human rollover stuff? Oh, you muted.
There we go. You go to the next slide here, Zach.
Ready?
Awesome. So the month of June was super busy for us. Few key focuses, definitely AI agent training. That's been a pretty major focus in the last couple of months. As everything changes, as UI changes with HighLevel, as capabilities change, of course, as well too. The other one too is just extend the OS support. So making sure that you as an agency owner or anyone that needs the support is getting specific support towards it. So how to use your tools properly, troubleshooting, any issues that come up. And then the other big initiative here that we've implemented is just more support, more dedicated agency queues. So we've had situations sometimes where agency owners are asking questions that agents just didn't know the answer to. Now, that's still going to come up sometimes. There's obviously just some account stuff that a tech support agent may not always know, but making a concerted effort to make sure that if you jump into your chat support, you can get support related to your agency as well too. Obviously, we have a lot of other resources that help towards that, but just make it a little bit easier on yourself as well. Awesome. As live chat goes, we maintained a 94% CSAT from the previous month. We've been hovering between 94 to 95 for a few months now. Enterprise is currently sitting at 96, so no major changes on that this month. Go to the next slide there. As first time response goes, I think we jumped up from 59 to 61 seconds. 58 to 61 seconds. So a little bit of movement there, but nothing considerable on that. And then as ticketing responses go, I've talked the last couple town halls that this has been a major initiative for us to get on this. All these numbers have slowly gone up percentage-wise. With our Gene SLAs, right now we've hit 93.3% of first response SLAs, and then second response as well too, 96.7. The major one though is our resolution. So we were getting better at our first responses for a while. Our resolutions weren't quite climbing as fast, so there was more back and forth than we'd like. We've seen that go up considerably. We're hitting right now 98.3% on our SLAs for resolution right now. That's a testament to some restructuring, but also we have a pretty key team member named Albert and JV, who you guys have probably worked with before, who've been really owning this. All right, now for a managed onboarding. As process changes go, we've still been working on availability. You guys will notice that it's really good. You probably can find one even for today in the afternoon potentially. So if there's any hesitation with bringing on a customer, you can make that promise. That typically you'll be able to onboard them, the following day, even sometimes the same day as well too. Would highly recommend using the service. And other items as well too is just the AI tool standards. So if you don't know how you want to onboard your customers using the new GHL AI tools, especially voice AI, we do have a standardized process for that. So we do have a standardized SOP. You can take a look at what we do, then you can change it to what works best for you. And then as June stats go, currently at 97.5, I believe. Yeah, so a little bit of actually pretty solid uptick, to be honest, on that. So we've seen improvements on that rating. I would be very surprised to see anyone in the industry hitting those numbers. Our team is pretty darn phenomenal on the onboarding side. And that's everything on the white label onboarding. Of course, continued efforts, to make sure it's faster support at the right time, and that's more accurate as HighLevel changes fast. If you guys do have any ideas though, I think it already got posted once on anything that's support related, or if it's Extendly OS related, just a reminder that we have ideas.getextendly.com as well too. I think that's everything. Be open to any questions that weren't answered already.
All right, I got to bring the chat up here because I'm sure we got some chats. Let's see, I'm going to stop sharing so you can see everybody's faces.
Look at all those beautiful faces.
All right. All right, what questions does anybody have? Does anybody have any questions? Raise your hand if you have any questions, please, just so we can bring you on up. Out of the chat.
I'll say, if nobody's got a question, I'll say Tiana doesn't give herself enough credit. Okay. So she has been, for all of you that pay attention to the news and updates and everything and the help articles, there's a lot going on behind the scenes. Refreshes coming to make them look nicer, more presentable, more engaging, that she's been working really hard on, taking ideas and having the designers come up with new things and saying, nope, don't like it, let's do something different. So she does care very much about your feedback on those news and articles, and she works really hard. So I just want to give a shout out to Tiana. I've had the opportunity to speak with her a few times this last month about it, and so yeah, her measly 2 little slides there didn't really justify all the work that she's been putting in behind the scenes. So I just wanted to make that known.
Thanks, Charles. We did update the presentation slides, I think, last week, and I was actually going to ask your feedback on those. And the new thumbnails are in the works of being implemented today, actually.
Awesome. Very cool.
It's awesome. Woohoo! Nobody else has anything? You guys can ask us anything. You can even ask me how's the weather out in California, and it's always going to be good.
I've got a random question. Did HighLevel stop doing their monthly town halls? Wouldn't that have been today?
I think they have foregone the monthly town halls. I think they kind of softly let it die away.
Yeah, that's what I think too, because I don't remember seeing anything.
Yeah, which is even more reason why to go to the daily town halls.
Yeah, how do you do it?
I
You must
automate.
not sleep.
That's what I do. I automate, so I don't have. I can be in those meetings. So that's why I ask for all these crazy automation features. You know, like, can I automate this? That's one less thing I have to do. Yeah.
Well, I honestly think, Charles, that sometimes I don't feel like I have to go because I know you're there advocating for us.
Well, so I'll tell you what, I will put this, there was a huge change. If you didn't know, there was a huge change made to billing today. It went live today. And it has to do with ChatGPT actions, workflow AI. So ChatGPT is no longer charged as a premium action. It is charged by token usage at the same exact rate that OpenAI charges. And so the agency is no longer getting charged a premium, and you're able to leverage, and they've already changed it. If you go to sub accounts, select the sub accounts that you want to adjust any rebilling for. There's a new bulk action as well. So you can select all your sub accounts, go to bulk actions on the right hand side, click enable rebilling. You can select a rebilling payment provider if you use something other than Stripe. And then you can also see the new breakdown of the billing structure for the GPT actions. So town halls are important. If you don't go or at least watch the replays, because you'll find things that you won't find anywhere else. You'll learn things that you won't find anywhere else. So.
Woo. All right, well, if we don't have any other questions, we'll shut it down for today. We'll see y'all next month for the August town hall.
Oh, geez, August already.
I know. It's crazy.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Feel free to use the ideas board, like Zach mentioned. That's ideas.extendly.com. And as always, if there's any feedback for us, please find one of us, send it to the team, whatever the case may be. We're always looking to improve and make improvements so it makes your life easier to run your agency. So feel free to share those.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Well, Charles got a question.
One thing you didn't.
Okay.
So one thing you didn't touch on was the knowledge base.
As far as updates?
Yeah, what's going on with the knowledge base as far as like AI, the search?
Yeah.
Where are we at?
So we're planning to fully rebuild like the whole front end of the knowledge base, both inside of Portal and like what the users see, like from like a white label perspective. There's several different moving pieces to that, which is, you know, a better understanding of information that's synced, which you've brought up before, Charles. Better organization of information, different permissions in the knowledge base, you know, ways of importing knowledge in, ways of managing knowledge sources that are outside of our system, for example, like Google Drive or Notion or other things like that. So, but we haven't started that work yet. So that's going to be probably like a later on this year type of thing. It's definitely up there, but we're trying to get past kind of restructuring the whole AI flows under the hood, the widget, the nudges, the conversation history, the dashboard, trying to get all that stuff, you know, pushed before we move on to the knowledge side of the equation. But we have a lot of stuff we want to do with the knowledge base. Knowledge is kind of like, you know, the hub of everything as it pertains to the AI and, you know, search and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. We are making like improvements on search every time we do a deployment. We're trying to make as many fidelity improvements to search as we can. So we've pretty much like restructured the entire way that search works already. And now we're testing new models, new AI models, new embedding strategies, and all of that stuff to make the semantic search more effective. Getting better telemetry on search so we can figure out which one, you know, which models are working better and creating better user results. So that the search part of it's like an ongoing thing that we're trying to make fidelity improvements on pretty much every release. But the actual UX on the knowledge base stuff is probably not going to change until sometime Q4, I would imagine.
Sounds good. Appreciate the update.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right.
I'll stop now.
All right, everybody. Hey, hope you all have, for any of you that are in the States, hope you have an awesome 4th of July. It's coming up. Blow some fireworks up. Don't blow up yourself up. And, you know, we'll see you on the next town hall. So,
See you guys.
see you guys.